Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Let's see, probably not. Let's bring this thing up. There we go. All right, hey. Well, here I am, another evening of merriment and mayhem uh, as we explore a vast universe of all kinds of things. So, so let me just crank this on down a bit. Leave it as the background, I guess, for a little ways. But yeah, tonight I got a whole bunch of things going on. It's a huge evening, huge. And in fact, let me go ahead and switch my scene over here so we can talk about. Well, heck, maybe I can just let's see if I can bring this in here and just kind of move it up. Oh, did I hear an echo? Oh, I heard an echo. Yes, I did. I heard an echo. Uh-oh. I had trouble with that last week. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully that's not going to happen. I'm not going to hear echoes. But we'll soon find out. Let me see. Oh, yes. Audio input device should just be that. And, well, anyway, we'll soon find out whether or not I have echoes and other problems. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and switch off over here to the wonderful screen and talk about what's coming up tonight. Now I got a whole bunch of comments been coming in. Oh, let me just switch my camera around. 1 second. Da-da-da. Right. And let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm probably hearing the show. Here we go. All right. Now let me know if there's any echo going on, because there very well could be. Because I didn't have a chance to actually test this whole scenario out with the stream on, but so far so good, I guess, because I'm not hearing it right now. Okay, well anyway, here's some action going on over here. Let's see. Okay, good. No echo now. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, well, look at this. Everybody's been on board. I've been mesmerizing people. Look at this. Eyes closed. Yoga practice time. and yeah, those are live recordings from last year that you're hearing. That prelude music is usually last year, but I'm going to surprise you. One of these weeks, you're going to hear the whole hour interlude is going to be something live that I'm doing with the Electric Sheep's screensaver running, and while I'm hiding behind it, playing music. So, but you watch that. That could happen. And it just probably will. Yeah, and if you like those effects, definitely go on in and go to electricsheep.org and get their screensaver. It's really incredible. Here, I'll load it in a bit. It's the Electric Sheep. Well, you can't see the whole thing. Let's see. Electric Sheep, and what it is thousands of people all over the world contribute part of their computer resources when they're idle to the generation of these amazing pictures. And so I'm one of those crazy people. And so, yeah, it's a great download. They now even have it as an Android type of a thing. And so, yeah, you can really go wild with this stuff, can't you? Yeah, I have it on my Android. I think you can get it for iPad. What can I say? The world is just too fantastic nowadays. Okay, well, so what the heck are we going to be talking about today? Let me see. For starters, I hope I got my audio right going on here. So let me go ahead and switch over to the capture so that you can see what we're going to go over today. Or do you want a musical interlude already? Gee, that's just such a hard thing to decide sometimes. So, okay, there we go. Da-da-da, no echo. Good. Hey, Debbie Davis even made it. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Well, you know that Debbie, what this is intended for. It's supposed to be cooking while you watch and listen thing. It's like I said, instead of having the news on, over and over again. So okay. So here we go. Let me switch over here to this, and I can see I'm going to get continuously confused as to which computer I'm on tonight. Alrighty, so yes indeed, we have all kinds of stuff going on here tonight. I'm going to say we do have not just one, but two Pixlr tricks of the week. Yes, we do. And we have an Audacity thing where I'm going to try to put a rhythmic keyboard down and then lay a flute track down and then a vocal track down. And I don't even have lyrics yet, so I'm going to write the lyrics on the spot. We're going to read poetry readings. We got two poetry readings today. The Little Crocodile, How Doth the Little Crocodile, and The Walrus and the Carpenter. And those are all queued up and ready to go. We're going to read another little bit from Alice Through the Looking Glass. We're going to read a portion of Chapter 3, The Looking Glass Insects. And you know, this is one of those books, everybody knows Alice Through the Wonderland, but a lot of people forget completely the really cool episodes that were in Looking Glass. And so this is one of those. I might do a live making something up segment today. We'll see. I have to really be in the mood to just tell a story. I feel like I just, have so much time on my hands. But this week's actually so packed that I don't know if that's going to happen. Weekly live production item is really just so simple. It's using a Hangout on Air as a recorder instead of any other recorder. And one of the cool things about using Hangout on Air is that you can also have those overlays that they call lower thirds, but they can be lower sides, lower tops. They can have sides and tops and bottoms. They can be in the middle. They can be covering your face. So all they see is your hands. I mean, anything you want with the... So HOA is kind of a neat recorder. It gives you instant capabilities similar to what OBS does. Okay, so we have definitely sound effect of the week and a free background music of the week. And we're covering the long ones. Yes, indeed. We have two Sciency items of the week to make up for lost time, because we've missed out on our Sciency items of the week last couple of weeks. We have a superabundance item, again, Google's amazing tools, and this one is going to feature the hottest item of the week, which has got to be collections. Yes, indeed. So we're going to talk a little bit about collections, and I've also updated my templates at Pixlr Templates so that you have over here, so that now you have a Google Plus Collections. There we go. The new Google Plus Collections cover item. Okay, and it includes a section. There's a section of the thing that doesn't show up. The top portion and the bottom portion of the image only show up if you click on the picture. Then you see the full image. A lot of people don't realize that. They get these specs for 1080 by 608, but don't realize it cuts off 125 or so pixels off the top and 125 off the bottom, average. So I made a template that lets you see which parts are going to be cut off so that you can kind of feature the parts of the picture that you want everybody to see. And then if they click on the picture, they get to see the extra parts. All right, so you have that too. All right, and we're also going to discuss the new the Google Photos editor, because the new Google Photos has got some very cool tools. And I have that all queued up to show you some stuff. In the Pixlr department, we're going to do some really awesome overlay action, and I did find out the rubber stamp tool cannot do between two separate pictures that are loaded, but it can do between separate layers. So it can do from a visible layer to another layer, and you can exclude layers that you don't want part of the rubber stamp by just turning them off while you're doing your stamping. Anyway, we'll see that. And so, so we have a packed day. Okay, so what can I say? Let's make sure the keyboards are working here. Let me see. I hear something. Okay, I do hear something. Let me go over here quickly. Just go to the comments again, so we watch the comments come in while I mess around with my audio settings. because I've got them over on the other side, and trying to keep that kind of invisible, you know, where I don't want everybody to see it, because I'm so modest. And so let's see, make sure I don't have a speaker mix coming out. Let's see, because we don't need that. Here we go. And because I don't want to get feedback in the middle of the show. And okay, so we should be good to go. That's awfully weak. Gosh, there's like no volume in that patch. I don't know why that is. It seems awfully quiet. It's plugged in, right? Don't know. Look at that. Really, really quiet. Oh. Let me adjust my inputs. Inputs. One second. I'm gonna adjust some inputs here. So now I'm cranking them. And what'll happen is that when I come back to do this later on, I'm gonna blast everybody out of smithereens here. Well, this is probably just something that's nothing to do with anything. That one's plenty strong. Okay, well, let's see. So let's just start out something with a nice quick musical interlude thing. Let me turn on some reverb and just kind of crank it out here with some reverb action. So make sure I got the right thing selected. Turn that on. Put this over here. Hello, I'm over here now. And, or it should be. And there we go. Okay. And I can turn this one off since I'm not going to use it. Oh. Listen to that. It really picks it up. Okay. There we go. Why? I swear I had speakers turned on here. 1 second. Test. I do. I have speakers turned on. Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? I just remembered. The reverb feeds through the speakers no matter what. I gotta turn off these speakers. That was dangerous. Yeah, it started already, didn't it? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, well, I hope that was loud enough. Looks like I probably turned down some things too much. 1 second. I was panicking because I was seeing all kinds of levels that were too low. And they were like I was in shock. I was in a state of shock here. So anyway, there we go. That level's okay. Good. That level's looking good. But this one is the one that was odd. It was like maxing out. Yeah, hard to tell. Doesn't show it as all maxed out right now. Let me see. Ta-da. No, it doesn't show it as maxed at all. One moment. Well, who knows? Might have been I have too much reverb in the mix coming out or something. Turned up way too far. That would be very easily done because I'm new to this new software that I'm using. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we'll mess around with that some more later on. Okay. Definitely needing some blue juice today. Oh yeah, it's been hot. I've been trying to cool this room off all day long. Okay, let's see. What we're going to do. Well, I say, you know, I hate to do this to you, but I really want to show off my, I want to show off the Pixlr screen. And I want to show off the Pixlr screen. Oh, in fact, look at it. I got the wrong glasses on. I must look horrible. No, I look okay. Can't see anything now. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so, let me show the full screen, and I'm going to share the Pixlr layout that I've got here. So let me see. Right here. Not that one. This one. Okay. Now, if you go to let's go right there, and I have to turn my little camera around again. This happens whenever I load in the screen. I'm going to turn the camera. Okay, so we have over here this new collections cover thing, and you see we got the full screen of this thing going on. Let me change the view. Let me go to reset palette location and blow this thing up a little bit, and there we go. Now you see this is for the collections cover, the Google Collections cover, and the whole idea of this. You get to this, by the way, from the Pixlr templates that I showed you. You just click on that thing, and this is going to open up automatically. And the whole idea is that you want to make yourself a cover, but you want to make sure that your view area, the viewport that everybody's going to see, has got the most important part, and the part that people only see when they click on the picture or click on the little links doesn't show. And I've got an article over here by Justin Stout where he talked about this here. Where is it? There he goes. It was an article called Customizing Google Collections, and in the everything you wanted to know about Google Plus Collections. And let's move this a little bit. And in the section on customizing it, he points this out, that you can, of course, choose any of the photos that they've got, but if you wanted to add your own photo, it would be this 1080 by 607 size. But be aware that the top and bottom of that image will be cropped out. 124 pics on top and 123 pics on the bottom of the image will remain hidden until a user clicks on the cover to reveal the whole thing. So here's what this looks like before the photo's clicked, and then bingo, it builds into this huge thing. Okay, so he's provided a template too, but naturally I do have the Pixlr templates thing that a lot of people use over here, and so I made absolutely positively sure of the fact that I was going to have it set up for those folks that wanted to just be able to click and come into this. So the way it works is the same as usual. You go to layer, you say open image as a layer, and you find an image that works for you. Let's see if I can find something that works for me. No, not really. No, I don't see anything. Oh, of course. But see, this is a perfect example. This is me at the age of 12 in a Boy Scout camp. So I pull this little layer, down. So let me zoom in. You see where the layers are over here on the right. Okay. And I would pull that layer down so it's below the cropped, where it says cropped layers area. And so now I can see the part that's not going to be visible. Okay. So that means I can start making some adjustments to this picture so that I always have the parts in it that I want to have in it. So I might say get out the free transform tool and move it around so that I have certain parts in it all the time. I might blow it up. Oops, hold shift. And remember, you hold shift to constrain. And so, you know, this is probably not an ideal image for this application, but as you can see, I'm getting a picture now that has it so that this part is what people will see when they just come to my collections. And hit go ahead and apply it. And then I can click on this little checkbox up here next to where it says cropped areas. And I can click the little checkbox to hide that so people see what the full-size image is going to look like. Okay? And click it again to see what people will see when they land on the site before clicking on the picture. All right, get it? So then you just save it as you turn off this layer and go ahead and save it as a JPEG and upload it, and you're done. Okay, but you're at least confident that you know which parts are going to be cropped out now because you've had this little tester, and this is the exact amount of cropping at the top and bottom that we were talking about before. All right, so that's cool, huh? You just go into the Pixlr templates tool as per usual. You click on Google Plus Collections cover, and and it opens up Pixlr Editor. Bingo, and there you have it, all ready to go to edit on. All right, so that's why I really had to show that off, because I just got that finished today after hearing about it last night from Karen Chin. She's doing a whole huge series on collections, and that's another part of the thing that I wanted to kind of highlight, is that we have these Saturday morning Smarties events have been going on, and with Karen and Molly doing all the presenting and me pretty much shutting up. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm really going to talk my face off today because I really like, you know, feeling like so left out now. I never get to do anything. But anyhow, yeah. Molly has been doing presentations on the photos and on stories and stuff like that, whereas Karen's been doing what's turning into a three-part presentation, 3 half-hour presentations approximately, just on the collections and all the different ways of using them. And so she's the one that turned me on to the fact that you had this one and you had this one here. And this is, I'm going to show exactly how I did this photo right here tonight too. I did it on yesterday's show, okay? But Karen did part 2 on that show. And so I'll include the links to all of these resources in the show notes later on. All right? So, as per usual, just, you know, non-stop awesome around here. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the comments over here. There we go. Let's see. Oh yes, I like those dead stop endings. I love dead stop endings. It's boom. And there we go. Gee, you know, it's amazing, Debbie. I just don't know what it is. Something about the Sunday show, people tend to not mute me as much. Well, I know why. Because I kick all the competition out. I don't have anyone else talking right now, you know? Now, we are going to have guests on the show again, but I haven't had time to get preparations. We wanted to do that radio show thing, you know, and do another one of those. And, you know, I've just been so crazy, I haven't had a chance to write a simple little 15-minute or 10-minute script. So we shall. All right, let's see what else. Oh, yes. Crowd rushes in. And, yeah, I love the dead stop endings. I love that. And, so, and by the way, yes, it is hot here, too. It is so hot here. Let me tell you. So, okay. Okay, Alice in Wonderland, yes, smaller and smaller. Oh yeah, you got to have this thing for the Android. I have it on mine. I love this the Electric Sheep screensaver thing. Well, it's a background actually. So okay, so there we go. Rabbits, studio mode. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm not in studio mode. Actually, Michael's saying I'm definitely in studio mode. No, this is a live streaming, YouTube live streaming thing. It's not a Hangout on Air at all. Hangouts on Air have that studio mode, but I was frustrated by the audio because it sounds shrill to me, and so you have to do all this kind of toning down of the highs on the EQ. And also it has a ceiling of like 12 dB, under 12 dB really, 14, 16. So it's so easy to overload it, it's unbelievable. So the YouTube live streaming gives you a lot more capability, a lot more leeway, a lot more flexibility. So, oh, look at this. I've been looking over this way all this time. I gotta switch my camera again. So, well, no, we don't, because we're going to go back over here to looking at this. Well, let me go ahead and switch the camera. Yeah, this is something I can't have the same camera in with two different settings. You gotta keep setting. Okay, there we go. Okay, so oh yes, absolutely. So what are we going to do next? Well, how would you like a musical interlude? Okay, I know I just did a musical interlude. Yes, but I do love those musical interludes. So I'm going to recite some poetry. How's that sound? Okay, can you stand some poetry? Okay, good. We'll do that. And I have the poetry over here in the same thing as the comments. So we have in the poems of Alice in Wonderland. Let me just read you some of this here, and let me make sure actually that this is fitting in my screen okay, because I didn't have time to actually check that. And it's not, of course. There we go. So let me move it over a little bit. There we go. That's good. Yeah, this is an article called The Poems in Alice in Wonderland. And that's... Oh, it would do that. And there we are. Yeah, the minute I clicked it off the top, it went stolen on me. Okay. There. And Florence Milner, look at this, written in 1903. So she starts off the article saying, 50 years ago, the child world was made glad by the appearance of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. It is a universal story and so belongs to all time. It has never gone out of fashion and never will as long as children love wonder stories and grown-ups have young hearts. But those who read the book when it was first published found in it a delight which the child of today misses. 50 years ago, mind you, just writing in 1903, 50 years ago, certain poems appeared in every reader. A reader was like a primer, a little thing that you had one of per household that had a whole bunch of poems and little stories and things, this collection of timeless classics that were for the home for your growing children to be exposed to. So, yes, so certain poems appeared in every reader and were read over and over again until the child was stupid indeed who did not unconsciously learn them by heart. Today there is a new fashion in literature, 1903 today. Children are whirled from one supplementary reader to another. Well, conning graceful rhymes and pretty stories, all illustrated with artistic pictures, but the old things have passed away. This is how I feel about my Beatles, people don't even know what the Beatles songs sound like anymore. Anyway, I'm not sensitive about this, by the way. It's not a sensitive item for me. Just so you know, I'm not like getting all tearful and upset about it. But I'm not even going to name names of who upset me most recently on a certain game show. Who was like my partner, who did not get my cultural Beatles references as hints at all. Anyway, another subject. So the old things have passed away, yes. All the poems in Alice in Wonderland are parodies upon these once familiar rhymes. Scattered lines of the poems cling to the minds of older people. They remember being once familiar with them. They recognize the meter and can sometimes repeat 2 or 3 opening lines, but the complete poem eludes them, and the author they probably never did know. The children of today do not know the verses at all, and as a parody ceases to be a parody without the original poem as a background, the trouble of gathering these originals seems worthwhile. After Alice had fallen down the rabbit hole and had passed through her first transformation, when she shut up like a telescope until she was only 10 inches high and then grew bigger and bigger until, quote, her head struck the roof of the hall, she became confused as to her identity. To make sure of it, she tried to repeat a little poem, which everybody in those days knew by heart, and to such children it was very funny when it came out all wrong. And she says, "How doth the little crocodile? How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spread his claws, and welcome little fishes in with gently smiling jaws." When she thought she was repeating that highly moral poem by Isaac Watts. So here is the actual parody poem. I will read it straight as possible. Against idleness and mischief. How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillfully she builds her cell, how neat she spreads the wax, and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In works of labor or of skill I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or work or healthy play, let my first years be past, that I may give for every day some good account at last. Ah, yes, those were the very tomes and that kept us all in line, I suppose. Okay, so we already did We Are Old Father William last week, and I didn't want to do it this week because I did it last week, and that gets some people upset when you say, you know, you did that last week. And I get the notes, okay? I read them. And so what I wanted to do, however, was the Walrus and the Carpenter. Now, we do have these others, and I'll share this page. The one that I cannot read, bring myself to read, is the one, Speak Gently to Your Little Boy and Beat Him When He Sneezes. No, reminds me too much of growing up in the 50s. So, instead we'll go to the Walrus and the Carpenter. So let me see if I can blow this up and get it so where it's visible for everybody. And let's read the Walrus and the Carpenter, why don't we? Hey? I'm in such a mood to read this. The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all its might. He did the very best to make the billows smooth and bright, and this was odd because it was the middle of the night. The moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. The sea was wet as wet could be. The sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no cloud was in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. The Walrus and the Carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this were only cleared away, they said, it would be grand.
If 7 maids with 7 mops swept it for half a year, do you suppose, the Walrus said, that they could get it clear? I doubt it, said the Carpenter, and shed a bitter tear. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us, the Walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk, along the briny beach. We cannot do with more than 4 to give a hand to each. The eldest oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The eldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed. But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because, they hadn't any feet. 4 other oysters followed them, and yet another 4. And thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore. The Walrus and the Carpenter walked on a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock conveniently low. And all the little oysters stood and waited in a row. The time has come, the Walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. But wait a bit, the oysters cried, before we have our chat, for some of us are out of breath, and all of us are fat. No hurry, said the Carpenter. They thanked him much for that. A loaf of bread, the Walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar, besides, are very good indeed. Now, if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the Walrus said. Do you admire the view? It was so kind of you to come, and you were very nice. The Carpenter said nothing, but cut us another slice. I wish you were not quite so deaf. I've had to ask you twice. It seems a shame, the Walrus said, to play them such a trick, after we've brought them out so far and made them trot so quick. The Carpenter said nothing, but the butter's spread too thick. I weep for you, the Walrus said. I deeply sympathize. With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. Oh, oysters, said the Carpenter, you've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? But answer came there none, and this was scarcely odd because they'd eaten every one. Well, that's a tragic story. Okay, well, all right. I'm sorry if that got any of you depressed. I'd certainly understand. I empathize with the little oysters myself. Why, I hadn't been able to eat oysters for years after first being exposed to that. But I'm a little better now. Nonetheless, and all the more, what can I say? It's been said before. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not blowing up microphones here. Oh, I did blow up a microphone. Well, oh well. I've blown them up before. All right, well, there you have it. There's your Walrus and the Carpenter, and of course, the Doth the busy little bee thing. Doth the crocodile. Yes. So, okay, so a little later on, we're going to have a little reading from the Alice in Wonderland thing. So you can see I'm on an Alice in Wonderland theme this last couple of weeks. And I see depressed, it made me hungry. Now, facial expressions. I didn't make any facial expressions.
Well, I try not to. So, okay, there we go. Well, so now what are we going to do? Oh, I think I better do a musical interlude. Ha 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 ha. So let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on the other mic and pan them and see what we can do here. Okay, so 1 second. I'm going to turn on the reverb sound. Oh, the reverb's supposedly been on, but I certainly haven't heard any reverb. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I got to hit send, input, reverb send. Oh, looks like I may have to change something here. Outputs. Verb returns. Well, I'm not sure what I've got to change here. Oh, just turn it on. Why don't I? Boink. Hey, you're kind of big, aren't you? Hey, well, okay, so we have lots of low reverb. I can play with that. I've got this great new tool. I can play with the reverb and make it kind of different shapes. Oh yeah. Change the width. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Well, anyway. Okay. I think I'm getting reverb. How about this one? Is this mic working? And look at him. I'm in the wrong chair. Hello. Oh wow, it's all reverby. Oh my gosh, it's reverb city over here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! It's closer. There we go. Okay. Well, that's way out there. Okay. So this is the closer mic, and this is the further away mic. All right. I'm just going to do a solo flute thing. We'll see if we can make this thing sound okay. Better move my blue juice. Come uncomfortably close to knocking it with this thing. All right. So now the Ode to Departed Oysters. Okie doke. What can I say? What can I say? And that was interesting because I had this mic was just being used for echo and nothing else. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting effect. Anyway, so when I was the thing off, ta-da! Oh, a sappy little tune, eh? Yeah, sappy. Yeah, that's what they call me, sappy. Well, I can do a sappy grin, you know. That's my sappy grin, and that's all you're going to get from me. Okay, so what else do we have going on here? I don't know. And I hope all my audio is up loud enough. You know, I always get a little concerned about that kind of thing, don't I? Yes, I certainly do. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Oh my gosh. You know, I really want to, as long as we're on the subject of Pixlr, we were on the subject of Pixlr, sort of. So let me move on. Let's move on. Let's get a second Pixlr thing done right away. And let's change this to full screen StarTech and change this around. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, look at this. Isn't it a lovely image? Isn't it a lovely image? Yes, you have frogs flying through the air at you, coming at you, and it's an exciting kind of a scenario that I took right out of my own sordid past. So now, how did I do this image? Most people are asking themselves. Okay, so you weren't asking yourself that. Nonetheless, I thought I would use this as an opportunity to show to recant on the whole idea of using masks and kind of using up on the fact that they are so darn fixable. They're impermanent. They're not. They don't cause permanent damage. So I have this this picture that I used as a background, and you see I loaded that into this lower layer down here, layer 0, and then I have this layer 1 that is nothing more than me loading this image from my computer into as a layer. I just went down here to open image as a layer right there. So it says open image as a layer. And that's the way you get images in to really get hot with Pixlr, is you get used to this layer menu being how you always bring images in, how you do everything. So I've got this image that I got it off the computer, and I wanted to incorporate it in on this thing. But obviously it's got too much, black and too much greenery, and not just a frog, because ultimately what I want is just a frog. So how do I manufacture this just a frog here anyway? Well, the first thing I do is I go up here and I say duplicate layer, because I never want to be working on the first copy, because I want to be able to have that as a kind of a backup to fall back on without having to reload everything and go find the image on the computer and all that kind of stuff. And so now I got this layer copy. I can turn off this other one and not have to worry about it. So remember, you turn them on and off by clicking that little box where the check box is, where the check mark is. Okay, so now I'm on this layer, and I'm going to use the simple magic wand tool to select a whole bunch of stuff. And you notice I've got the tolerance set to about 21. And it's selected too much of this eyeball, so I'm going to quickly fix that by getting out my lasso tool. And I'm going to hold down the control key, which makes, see the little minus sign? I don't know if you can see that here against the green. You can sort of see that there's a minus sign next to the lasso tool. Got it? That's by holding the control key down while I hover with that thing. If I push the shift key down, I get a plus sign. So what I've got is a selection here already. If I used the plus, I would add to the selection. So let me go ahead and add to the selection. And see now it's added that part. And lo and behold, Pixlr lets you undo when you've messed up. You can do Control Z and undo for your mess up steps. So now I want to get rid of the I portion that's being selected. So I'm going to hold down the Control key, which brings out the minus, and I'm going to somewhat carefully and wiggly and jiggly. Circle around that, and you see that cleared up the eye. So let me do a little more. And so now that's not selected. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to select the parts that I'm going to take out of this picture. Okay, so so now let's go ahead back to my magic wand tool, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key because I want to add to this selection that's already here, and just start clicking around. And the more I click, the more it takes. And click in here, and click in here, and click in here, and click in here, and click, 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 click. You know, so clicky. There we go. And the more times you click, when you, oops, overdid a spot. The more times you click, the tighter it gets around the portions that you're looking to get. And but don't get too picky about it, because what we're going to do is we're going to create a mask out of this, okay, so that we can then take care of all these little partially selected areas. And the main thing is to just get up to the edges of where the little froggy is. And you notice 21 tolerance is doing pretty darn good at detecting where my edges are here, okay? But because we're going to make a layer mask out of this, this is nothing we have to get perfect. We don't have to get out the lasso tool and try to perfect this using the lasso tool. And especially with my mouse, this I'm not on a perfect mouse pad or anything, so it's a little jerky trying to even use the lasso tool with any kind of precision. Much easier to be able to use a paintbrush tool or an eraser tool, which is a form of paintbrush, any day. And so what we're going to do now is go up here to Edit, and where it says Invert Selection, we're going to invert the selection, because what we want to make our mask out of is the parts that we didn't select. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got this right. I have totally messed this up before. And let's see if that does it. You know, we should take bets, because every single week I do this one wrong. Every week I do this wrong. I invert the selection when I didn't need to. So we really got to take bets. Is Terry going to invert the selection where he didn't need to again this week? We'll soon find out. Okay. I don't know. I had this sneaking feeling that I didn't have to invert the selection. I just got this bad feeling. Okay, so now I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click on this little circle inside of a rectangle that says Add Layer Mask. Okay? And I'm going to click that, and let's see. Oh no, I was right for once. Invert is what I wanted to do. All right, so there you have it. I did it. And the reason why that worked out is because I was selecting everything I didn't want in the picture. And so normally a lot of people, they select what they want, so they make a circle around the thing that they want and get it selected, so the thing they want is in the middle, and then you just make a mask because you've made a really perfect selection. But you notice all the stuff I was selecting was stuff I didn't want, and so I had to invert it in order to make my little layer mask. However, I do have a whole bunch of stuff because I didn't hide this darn, because I didn't hide what was behind it. I wound up selecting a lot more than I needed to, because I was working on more than just the layer. So let me go ahead and do an undo step and hide some stuff. Let's see. Yeah, go back one more step. Okay, and because I really just wanted that. And okay, get rid of that layer 3. Okay, so hopefully now when I do my inverting, it's going to just be the copy that I want, that I'm working on. Which is, please, which one is it? Okay. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So let's go invert selection and create layer mask. And there I got it. Okay, now, oh, it still made more space than I wanted. Okay, well, that's easy enough. Not a big deal. As long as it's transparent and I can see through it. So, bring this back. Click. There. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my my copy here. I'm going to just bring this down here so it's a little lower. And I'm going to paint with the eraser tool where I want to get rid of this stuff. Okay, so let's get the eraser out and make sure that this part on the right, see on the right it's like highlighted right next to the word layer. That's what I want to have clicked. That's the mask. This is the actual image content, so I'd be erasing image content. I just want to erase the mask content. So you see, I'm erasing away and getting rid of this stuff. And I could, whoops, there we go. And just do little jabs, because you're going to make mistakes like that. And if you go on and on and on erasing, then you wind up having to destroy, undo a huge bunch of work. So to keep clicking and on-click, take your finger off the button often, so that your undos don't have to be that much. And so now I'm kind of cleaning this up. There we go. And I probably didn't need to use that fuzzy brush. Whoops. There we go. I used a pretty fuzzy brush. And a little bit under here. And with a fuzzy brush, you can kind of do multiple clicks to get closer to something. There we go. And in here. And under here. All right. And now I can turn off this this bottom layer to see just how clean I did it. And there you see I did leave some mush. So just go ahead and clean up the mush. And there we go. Just for the perfectionists out there that I know were cringing because they knew that was in there and that I hadn't gotten it. Yeah, and they could tell, and they were gonna write me a letter soon. And so all right, so there you have it. It's much better. And this up here, I know, I heard you guys. Okay, so now I have this selection, and it fits very nicely on here. And one nice thing about this is I can pick up my move tool and I can move it around, and it moves the whole mask around with it. Okay, so the whole layer moves, mask and all. Now I want another copy of this thing, so one way to do it is just say go ahead, duplicate layer, and I get another copy that now I can move somewhere else. Ta-da! You can also go ahead and apply the layer, because these masks do take up some space. So if you're going to save the image as as the layered file, which I always recommend doing, then it can get kind of large. But there you go. There you have it. That's how I did that. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. And the fact that you're using the eraser tool on a mask makes it so that you can redo and fix up stuff that you mess up. Like say I had inadvertently, with my zealous overuse of the tool, gone and taken out the entire center of his nose. Okay? Oh, what am I going to do? It's easy. I just get out my paintbrush tool, and any color pixels that I put in place here, any color, so it doesn't look right now, but the minute I let go, boop, any color, it doesn't matter what color it is, it's just pixels that the mask cares about. Is it a pixel? Yes. Well, okay. And so, yeah, so that's how you get back. The cool thing about doing it this way over using the eraser itself is that you can undo it very easily just by switching to the paint tool, to the paintbrush tool, and now you can restore it. Now, when you get into using really, really small brushes, where you're doing fine detail and really perfecting this thing, like I could do if I was a maniac and really just, loved losing my audience, then yes, you can do that, and you can really get some incredible looking stuff. Now, earlier I was talking about how one thing that a lot of people do to make a selection look more realistic, however, is that they will blur the edges of the selection. And so as you can see, this works out okay having the hard edge on there. It still looks fine. But if I wanted to make this work, definitely, I just had to have it be a certain way. What I could do is I could go ahead and make another duplicate of the layer. I could apply the layer mask, which makes it so that you just get just the frog. Okay, so I apply the layer mask. And now you got the frog and a bunch of transparency. So let me turn off this background so you can see. So you see, you just got the frog and a bunch of transparency. Okay, so it's just that frog and some transparency. Okay, and I've applied the layer mask. So now I can go ahead and I could go ahead and make a selection with the magic wand tool. and I see it's selecting some stuff I don't intend to, but I really don't care, because the main reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to just use the selection to fill a empty layer with some paint bucket pixels. And let's see if this is going to work. There we go. Oh, I have to invert that. Boop. So I make that selection. I could have just selected pixels, actually. There we go. And oh gosh, select pixels. There we go. Select pixels. Rather than using magic wand tool, this works a little bit better. And okay, so invert the selection again, and now paint bucket tool. Fill up the space. Oh, I didn't have to invert the selection. See, you guys, somebody won a bet just now. Okay, so I get this thing and I fill it up with all kinds of Gleck, and there we go. Okay, now I can throw this thing away because I only needed it to be able to make this right here. And now I deselect. Come on, deselect. I have to maybe say deselect here. Deselect all. Okay, so now I've got this shape, and now I can use my magic wand tool or use select all pixels to get this, to pick this. But the first thing I want to do before I do that is go ahead to adjustment, to filters, to Gaussian blur, and I'm going to blur this image a little bit. So let's make sure it's acting. Oh, I'm working on the wrong thing here. There we go. I was working on the wrong yeah, okay, I was working on the wrong layer. Okay, so I want to blur this layer, so let's go to filter, Gaussian blur, and blur it up. And so now when I make a selection, that's probably more than I need. Really just 22. That's probably, see, now it's a finer, a little smoother edge. So now I go ahead and use edit, select pixels, and I make a selection of this thing. So now when I use that to pick my frog out, I'm going to get a different type of an effect. So let's go ahead and discard. Oh, and I can really throw this thing away now. I don't even need this layer. All I needed was that selection. So now I can go ahead and look at this, my thing, and I've got selection. I can discard my layer mask that I got there, but now I have a different doodad, and so I'll go ahead and make a mask using that. Let's see if I do it. There we go. Okay, and that should fit into my background a little bit smoother. And yes, it does seem to fit into the background a little bit smoother without as hard looking an edge. Get the idea? So there's on the left with the hard edge without the blur, and there's on the right with that little bit of blur. How do you think of that? Now you're professionals using a free piece of software. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to show you on the Pixlr thing. Oh, and the rubber stamp tool. Well, what's the big reason for having a rubber stamp tool anyway? It's so that I can have the frog digging into the grass down here. So I get out my rubber stamp tool, and one thing's important is keep it aligned and sample all layers. So I've got my layer here, select that, hold down the control key, and say where I'm going to grab from. I'm going to grab from right about there. And now go to my layer that I'm going to try to paint over, and I think it's this guy, and let's see if it's going to work. Oh, sample all layers has to be selected. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. No, don't look at that. I have to apply the mask. 1 second. Okay, now I can do it. All right, let's see. Oh, look at that. It just completely obliterates his fingers. Look at that. Look at it. He's reaching inside of the mush. So who would have believed that I could have done such a thing? Completely obliterate. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's how what the biggest use of the stamp tool, or the clone stamp tool, or rubber stamp tool, whatever, is to take pretty random stuff like leaves or grass or stuff like that and cover over something else with it. So like, say I wanted to get rid of these posts right here. Well, there you go. I just got rid of the posts instantly. Okay, here's another post. Get rid of the posts. Goodbye, posts. And you see, because it's painting over it with leaves that are random, I can get rid of all... Whoops. I have to reselect to get these posts back here. So Control click. And there you go. Get rid of those posts. Oops. Reselect. Control click. There we go. Uh-huh. 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 Post gone. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they're so gone. Now, I guess you could say it's a post-mortem. And with that, we'll move on to something else and let you guys free. But see, I mean, I even got this little patch over here. It's driving me crazy. It's an empty patch where nothing grew. I cannot stand it. I must have stuff growing everywhere. There. Ta-da! And see, because it's so random, only the trained eye that looks for stuff that's photoshopped could even tell that I filled in that patch. Okay? So, yes, I know. Many of you could tell. There! I filled in another patch! Ah! Alright, so you'll stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Okay, so that's that. That's the Pixlr. 2 Pixlr things that I wanted to show you all. Ta-da! Okay, okay. And let's go back to the comments. Hey, who's sharing food? This isn't fair. All I got is blue juice, because I don't dare eat in front of people. Oh, I gotta switch the camera again. Don't worry, I'm not doing demos all night. You got the Pixlr stuff out of the way. Okay, yes, here we go. Ah, yes. Huh. Sweet dreams. Oh, Candy's taken off. Oh my gosh, it must be like in the afternoon or something. And Stan, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Well, let's see. Oh, midnight here, turning into a pumpkin. Well, I'm glad you hung around for that. I'm glad she was there for that Pixlr demo, because I know she's going to take a look through it. Well, I repeat myself when I'm under stress. You know, I repeat myself when I'm under stress. I do repeat myself when I'm under stress. Okay. Okay. So we had Echo. We got the Sappy Grin. Good. Okay. Well, and we have food, which is really not fair. Oh, by the way, this picture was actually something my mom did when she was in her 50s. So I took the liberties to use it. So, okay, let's do a keyboards only thing. I don't have to hardly do anything for that. Let's see. Pretty much just turn off the mics. Let's see, I already got the sounds on. Let me see. Alright, let's get this camera right. Alright.
Okay, I hope I didn't have too much key noise in there. Okie dokie. And now, yes. What else could we have going on? Okay, so a musical interlude. Let's do it. Oh no, I already did a musical interlude. Okay, so that's hope that was okay. If you like that, that was good. Okay, so hey, all right, we got some people, more people showing up. Oops, not that one. There we go. Cropped comments. Oh, cool! Look at this beautiful picture. That's awesome. Of course, it's just a typical everyday in Japan. Always see that kind of a scene, right? Certain parts of town. Okay, so oh, a picture. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I know what to. So now I understand. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, all right. And yeah, I'm looking. Oh, gosh, stop showing me food. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm just making sure that I think I'll just leave that on for a while. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, on that point, on that subject, you're probably just asking for me to do a reading from Alice to the Looking Glass. So, oh, thanks. Watching me do it. So, in fact, I hope it's, yeah. Oops. Oh, speaking of which. Sorry. I got the polarity switch. Okay, I gotta do something about that. 1 second. My foot switch is switched around. Sustain. There we go. Yeah, let's see if that works. Okay. Yeah, my foot switch has switched itself around. It's just like, hey, let's mess with Terry. Let's switch the foot switch around. So if he pushes the switch, turns off the keyboard. If he keeps his foot off of it, it just sustains forever. Anyway. Okay, so one word I never expected to apply to me. What was that? What? Soothing. Oh. Yes. Well, what can I say? I'm trying to be multifaceted and a polymath. Yes, I know. I just used the word polymath. Okay, so now it's time for, yes, indeed, Through the Looking Glass. And oh, look at this. It's already queued up and I'm ready to go. So this is Through the Looking Glass, the insects portion. I better drink something first. It's a short little piece. I think you're going to enjoy it. So, okay. So I'll try to read it from here. So I'm starting here. "Tickets, please," said the guard, putting his hand in at the window. In a moment, everybody was holding out a ticket. They were about the same size as the people, and quite seemed to fill the carriage. Whoa. Don't push that thing. Okay. "Now then, show your ticket, child," the guard went on, looking angrily at Alice. And a great many voices all said together, like the chorus of a song, thought Alice, "Don't keep him waiting, child. Why, his time is worth £1,000 a minute." "I'm afraid I haven't got one," Alice said in a frightened tone. "There wasn't a ticket office where I came from." And again the chorus of voices went on. "There wasn't room for one where she came from. The land there is worth £1,000 an inch." "Don't make excuses," said the guard. "You should have bought one from the engine driver." And once more the chorus of voices went on with, "The man that drives the engine, why, the smoke alone is worth £1,000 a puff." Alice thought to herself, Then there's no use in speaking. The voices didn't join in this time, as she hadn't spoken, but to her great surprise, they all thought in chorus. I hope you understand what thinking in chorus means, for I must confess that I don't. Better say nothing at all. Language is worth £1,000 a word. I shall dream about £1,000 tonight. I know I shall, thought Alice. All this time the guard was looking at her, first through a telescope, and then through a microscope, and then through an opera glass. At last he said, "You're traveling the wrong way," and shut up the window and went away. So young a child, said the gentleman sitting opposite to her, he was dressed in white paper, ought to know which way she's going, even if she doesn't know her own name. A goat that was sitting next to the gentleman in white shut his eyes and said in a loud voice, "She ought to know her way to the ticket office, even if she doesn't know her alphabet." There was a beetle sitting next to the goat. It was a very queer carriage full of passengers altogether. And as the rule seemed to be that they should all speak in turn, he went on with, "She'll have to go back from here as luggage." Alice couldn't see who was sitting beyond the beetle, but a hoarse voice spoke next. "Change engines," it said, and was obliged to leave off. It sounds like a horse, Alice thought to herself, and an extremely small voice close to her ear said, "You might make a joke on that. Something about horse and horse, you know." Then a very gentle voice in the distance said, "She must be labeled lass with care, you know." And after that, other voices went on. What a number of people there are in this carriage, thought Alice, saying, "She must go by post, as she's got a head on her, and she must be sent as a message by the telegraph, and she must draw the train herself the rest of the way," and so on. But the gentleman dressed in white paper leaned forward and whispered in her ear, "Never mind what they all say, my dear, but take a return ticket every time the train stops." "Indeed I shan't," Alice said rather impatiently. "I don't belong to this railway journey at all. I was in a wood just now, and I wish I could get back there." "You might make a joke on that," said the little voice in her ear. "Something about you would if you could, you know." The wood in the back of the wood. "Don't tease so," said Alice, looking about in vain to see where the voice came from. "If you're so anxious to have a joke made, why don't you make one yourself?" The little voice sighed deeply. It was very unhappy, evidently, and Alice would have said something pitying to comfort it, if it would only sigh like other people, she thought. But this was such a wonderfully small sigh that she wouldn't have heard it at all if it hadn't come quite close to her ear. The consequence of this was that it tickled her ear very much, and it quite took off her thoughts from the unhappiness of the poor little creature. "I know you're a friend," the little voice went on, "a dear friend and an old friend, and you won't hurt me, though. I am an insect." "What kind of insect?" Alice inquired a little anxiously. What she really wanted to know was whether it could sting or not, but she thought this wouldn't be quite a civil question to ask. "Why, what then? You don't—" the little voice began, when it was drowned by the shrill scream from the engine. And everyone jumped up in alarm, Alice among the rest. The horse, who had put his head out of the window, quietly drew it in and said, "It's only a brook we have to jump over." Everybody seemed satisfied with this, though. Alice felt a little nervous at the idea of trains jumping at all. However, it'll take us into the fourth square. That's some comfort, she said to herself. And in another moment, she felt the carriage rise straight up into the air, and in her fright, she caught at the thing nearest to her hand, which happened to be the goat's beard. Okay, well, that's that. That's your reading from Alice for today. No begging and pleading. And there we go. Ah, yes, we're all mad here. So, oh my gosh, look at this action. This is great. Okay, great. So I think this is votes coming through for me to do the Cheshire Cat section next week. Yes, it is. Don't worry, whether you voted or not, that's what you're getting next week now. Okay, so there you have it. It's your Alice through the looking glass for this week. And yeah, I love that book. Love that whole book. It's incredible. Okay, so what can I do? What can I do next? Oh, how about don't. I keep trying to cop out and go to the musical interludes, because I'm just, I just can't get enough of it. But so why don't we combine a musical interlude with an Audacity thingamabob, if we can. I can try. Let me see if I can get that thing to work. Let me see. How would I do that? Let me see. We have to have this come through. Okay, let's bring up. Let's see if I can do this type of a thing. Okay, so there's Audacity. I'll just bring this up here, and I will. Hopefully, this isn't going to blow up the whole planet when I do this. But I'm going to attempt to include the Audacity program in this whole mess. Gee, maybe I shouldn't be doing that over there though. Well, let me see. So here's the upper monitor. There's the Audacity program. Yes, and actually it's up there. And let me move it across over here. First thing I got to find out is whether or not I can monitor anything. So let's see. Oh yeah. Microphones fall over too. Oh my gosh. Just a moment. I spilled blue juice everywhere. Da-da-da. An entire glass of blue juice went over. Yes, it did. This is a MacBook Pro. Or not a MacBook Pro, yeah, it was. Once upon a time. So, let me see. Let me go get some more tissues. Get some more tissues here. Da-da-da. Oh boy, an entire glass of blue juice is a lot of blue juice. Good thing I've been drinking it, eh? Da-da-da. Okay, nothing else is blowing up. Oh, but boy, oh boy, this Mac sure knew to turn itself off. There we go. Well, it's just full of stuff. That's right. I just cleaned. See this keyboard? I filled this with coffee the other day. I managed to fix that. Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. Oh, my goodness. This thing is just full of it. But now I don't have any blue juice. This is terrible. What am I going to do? All right. Well, no, not very often you get to see somebody actually drop an entire glass of blue juice into a Macintosh Air. But boy, that's what happened. What happened is the microphone, this big microphone, is so top heavy, and I don't know why, but it just went over all by itself.
I didn't hit it or anything that I saw. Just went over. So I must not have had it balanced very well. And yeah, so it toppled. It went over here and did a Rube Goldberg machine type thing where it hit this and that hit that and the other thing hit the other thing and that put the blue juice over. And so, okay, well, the long and short of that, and it hit the mouse and changed so I don't see I don't see my comments now. Where'd my comments go? Oh, I'll go on full screen. That's what it is. Okay. Exit full screen. So it must have also hit my keyboard here and hit the F11 key. So, boy, oh boy, nonstop thrills and chills. All right, well, it's okay. The only thing I even had the Mac Plus on for, the MacBook Air, was so that I could turn off the darn show at the end. I had the YouTube controller thing going on. So I hope it's still running. Tell me it's still running. Let me see. Go over here. Da-da-da. And see if anybody even noticed that I did this. Okay. All right. Da-da-da-da. Oh, that was a good one. Okay. So. Dun-dun-dun. Oh, no. Apparently nobody even noticed that I had a complete breakdown of things. But how on earth that all went over is beyond me. Good grief. All right, let's put this over there. Good Lord. Good thing for me, I've got an abundance of tissues. That's all I can say. Okay, just trying to control the dripping. Okay, I got it under control now. There we are. I'm going to need to do a musical interlude. Heck with this Audacity thing. No, I got Audacity working, so let me see if I can do a recording session with it. And what I want to try to do is get kind of a drum thing going on. So let me see if I can find anything with drums in it. Oh. No, that's not drums. Let's see. Oh, these are the really old things. Oh, yeah, there we go. Rhythm of the Wave. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do a multi-recording here. So there's there's that thing, and so first of all, I'm going to push record and make it test. Okay, so there's a playback. Yes. All right, it plays back. All right, so let's try it. Undo record. What's it doing? Here we go. Okay. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so I'm going to do something in D minor. Let's try this out. All right, without knocking anything over. I'll just, so you don't have to watch Audacity while I'm doing this. I'll get it started and switch cameras. Okay, so there we have our first track. All right, now the second track is going to be a little flute thing, and then I'll do a third track with some, yeah, I'll do a third track with a little keyboard lead on it. Okay, maybe that'll work. So let's bring in the reverb and reverb. There we go. Turn it on. And turn on that one. And okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, that's working. All right, let's see if this works. Good luck. Okay. Let's see. Click to start monitor. Okay. All right, it's going to be way too loud. Have to turn that down a bit. I'll turn it down. I better turn it down in here. Okay, here we go. And hello, 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 hello. Nope, too loud. Okay, here we go. Oh, let's see if this works. Hold it. I just realized I'm recording. I'm recording the content into itself. Just a second. I turn that off. Okay. Now let's see. Content. Okay. And so as long as I can monitor, you won't be able to hear this, but I can hear it. Okay. You would just kind of going to hear one part. All right, so there's multiple parts. Now, I'm not sure what parts you were able to hear. But let's see. Let's find out. I know I got multiple parts in here. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Wow. Getting ready for Hollywood. Okay, so that's that part. Now we got to get find a lead instrument. Let's see. No. No. Maybe I'm going to get rid of the other instrument in the other room. There we go. Yeah, just hear this. Okay. There we are. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. Because I don't want to waste too much time here. Okay, I'm going to switch off this thing so we don't get echo. Recording the thing into itself. All right, let's see if this works. Actually, I didn't do any alignment here, so it's probably out of alignment, but it may not matter as much. We'll soon find out. Okay. Let me just click on this for monitoring. Yep. Yeah, it's loud enough. Okay, here goes. Okay, there we have it. Now I know I have things way out of line, and I got things really, really loud. So I'm going to turn this thing way, way down. And I'm going to leave the flute about where it is. I'm going to turn down the top track a little bit. And there we go. And I'm going to put this bottom track way over in the right channel. Oh, no, in the left channel. Okay, way to the left. Okay. And let's take a look at what it can do. Now, I know I'm out of alignment. I should have clapped. I didn't do my claps. So what I'm just going to kind of, from previous experiences with this, I'm just going to go ahead and assume. Yes, I know what assume means. Don't have to remind me that I'm moving it just a little ways over to the left, like that. And this one will be even further, that I'd be out of alignment, and about like that. So I'm going to try to assume that. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see how it sounds. Oops. No, I moved this one too far. So I moved the flute too far. Let's go over a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Okay, next time, remind me to clap. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't sound right. All right, so there's where the theme's supposed to start. And where's where the, let's find out where the rhythm starts. Okay. All right, so go back over here. We can see that the flute pretty much starts right about there. And it's supposed to start more like right about there, I guess. All right, let's try that. That's probably in the wrong direction. Oh, it's the second bit. Aha, I see. That's the second hit. It goes donka donka dinky dinky. So, yes, that's how it's done. That's how us musicians talk. It goes donka donka dinky dinky. So that puts that right about there, right in between these and this one here. So right about there would be where it starts. All right, let's see if that works out. All right, but anyway, you get the idea. I'm trying to see if I can work. Boy, I forgot to clap. That really messes it up. Oh. Oh, someone's hearing sounds of silence. Oh, blast me. Sorry. Phew. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, I had the broadcast unchecked because it was making feedback before. Okay. There you have it. There you have it. All right, you heard it now. Yeah, sometimes I do need a co-producer in here, don't I? All right, so that was the big Audacity multi-track challenge. But next time, maybe I'll remember to do the hand claps so it's easy for me to line up where the beginnings are supposed to be. So, and anybody wondering what the heck I'm talking about, it's just a simple thing. Let me go ahead and save this so I can come back and mess around with this someday in the future. Demo, Flute keys, and go ahead and save that on my desktop. Okay, so let's say we were going to start a new one. And what I should have done, you see, is I should have had the clapping going on, where I go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you back it up and you listen to the clapping going on and you do it again. I have to turn off that B1. 1 sec. Maybe if I knew I was going to play here. All right. Okay, so we have those takes down that you couldn't hear, but let me go ahead and zoom out again. Went and zoomed in, not meaning to. Okay, but you would basically then come in with this tool and you would have to line up these claps So let me go ahead and zoom in so I can see how out of alignment they are. And you see how these are. So just get this tool right here with the two arrows both way, time shift to call it, and I would get these lined up. Now, of course, I didn't play anything worth keeping here. And I do the same thing here. You see how that one belongs there. Okay? So it's kind of easy when you have a big enough clap to line up. Oh, and now look at this. This would go right here. So I can see you have to rely on the fact that your claps were accurate, which mine weren't. Okay, so there we have it. So now it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
See that?
Okay, and then so that would work. It would work fine if you clap first, right? Yeah. So anyway, there's your Audacity. Here's the Audacity thing, demos for today. And I was determined I was going to get to an Audacity demo. But now let's go ahead and do an actual music interlude where there's actual music being played. Okay, so so I want to do something a little bit jumpy. And so that's what we're going to do. A little bit jumpy. So here we go, over here. And we let's go ahead and get this reverb on. It's not going to be as much reverb as before. I'm turning it down a little bit. Wah, 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 wah. Da, 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 da. Nee, 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 nee. Okay. Okay, stop that. All right, so this one a little bit less. And this one here, and do that, and do that, and... Okay, I think we're okay. Still might be a little bit heavy duty on that mic there. I think so. All right, let's see. And this is going to be simple. That was a neat sound. Oh, that's a neat sound. Okay, that's just not making enough of a downbeat for me to be able to tell what the heck's going on. Let's see. Let's try moving this down here and go with. Nope. That's too random for me. I can't even deal with that. Okay, you're just going to get a flute thing right now. Because I went and erased the really cool drum one that I had already, like... I had one all lined up for us to be able to have a true drum deal, but I went and got rid of it. And... yeah, I got rid of it. Oh well, I'm so sorry. Okay, that's it. Nothing but tune. Here we go. Something mellow. The blue juice spilled all over the place. Anthem.
Okay, that wasn't jumpy and offbeat. That was lamenting all the blue juice I lost. All right, I admit it. That was not jumpy and upbeat at all. Okay, what can I say? Yeah, well, I'd lost a lot of blue juice, and I'm dying of thirst over here. I don't have anything to drink for the next 15 minutes, and I still have show material left to do, and so let's get on with that. Yeah, stop horsing around, Terry. So, let's see. I want this cross comments. Okay, so okay. So we have some comments still coming in. And Candy had to take off, and yes, that was a haunting piece. And okay, all right. For the final grand finale of the evening, I did have a. What did I have? Oh, I had the sound effects of the week. We have to do those sound effects of the week. Okay, so here we go. The sound effect of the week this week is a very special one. It's called Chime Drone. Oops, I can't see it. Yeah, it's just not there. Here, I got to carry this over here. 1 second. Let me put this here and do that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's Chime Drone. Right there. Oops, there we go. Okay, that's in the window. And so let me play this for you and let you hear what it sounds like. Hopefully this is all going to work. I think that my sound's coming in from here. If not, we'll do it some other way. And ooh, that's quiet. That's quite quiet. Incredibly quiet. Is that supposed to be that quiet? Golly. Let me take a look at my... yeah, that's that quiet. Well, it's not me. It's not me this time. Looks like they really made it that quiet. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me see. 'Cause gee, I can barely hear that. Ah, no wonder. Ah, no wonder. Oh. There you have the echo. Anyway, there's the sound. Probably echoing on itself. I have it coming in the wrong channel. All right. So that's that. I'd probably be better off muting that channel. Maybe we're going to have to bypass this one. Let's see if the other one works. It is the... there we go. Let's see if this works. It does. Okay, folks. Well, everybody always is happy to attend the Blue Juice Jubilee variety show, especially when Terry spills his blue juice all over the entire console and manages to kill a MacBook Air. But nonetheless, very few people were really anticipating the way that the third seat would be occupied by the mayor of Cincinnati. Only 3 people were in the theater at the time. Mayor of Cincinnati himself. 2 aides. Anyway, yes, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, yes, indeed. What I'm trying to show here is that there are some pieces that you can have as background music that are really long. Look, over here, click this where it says duration, and you have less than 30 seconds, and you have over 5 minutes. And good grief, how long is this one? 9:13. 9 minutes and 13 seconds. I could be playing this thing all the way through to the, to the end of the show. So anyway, since you can hear this, that kind of says that, that other one was really, really quiet. So for our sound effect of the week, Chime Drone, it was literally a very super quiet drone with a wind chime involved. So
Maybe we'll find a use for that someday, but I'm not taking this off right now. This is just too cool, you know. It makes me feel sophisticated, like this is some kind of a, you know, really high class type of a show. And, so, all right. So with that on, just so that you know, there are those longer pieces, and these are in the regular sound effects. Music library, the regular music library, the regular audio library. So this is not part of the ad-supported music thing. This is just the regular library. So look, they got Hungarian Rhapsody, Club Step, whatever that is. It's probably something it's rather raucous. And let me just go ahead and there we go. Trips, that's R&B. So you got a lot of classical, some dance, but a bunch of longer pieces here that are over 5 minutes long. My gosh, the whole Ninth Symphony finale, all 23 minutes from Beethoven. You know, just try having that on as the background. We don't really seem sophisticated to folks. And try talking over the top of Song of Joy, you know. And anyhow, people will be telling you to shut up. Hey, you're trying to hear Beethoven. Okay, so there you have it. There's more nonsense than you can stand. I wish I could fast forward this. I wish I should have downloaded it, right? You know, I've been able to crank it forward to where the can starts. Little drama? Okay. So that's that part. What else did I have? Oh, I also wanted to show how I've been zooming stuff. People ask this a lot. How do you do this zoom thing? How do you do that? And it's Zoomit 4.5, a freebie from Mark Rusinovich at the Technet website from Microsoft, Windows Cisternals, and so yeah, I'll put this link. Look at this. I'm rocking now. This music's really got me going all over the place. Oh yeah. All right. Boogie down. Okay, what else? What else? Did I leave anything out? Looks like I've covered tonight's bases already. This is incredible. We got the sound effect of the week. We got the music of the week. Oh, the Sciency item of the week. Real quick. Don't want to miss. Hey, this is perfect music for this. Perfect music for this. Okay, so here we go. You can actually go learn physics online, and ta-da. Oh, ta-da. Oh, okay, yes. There, let's see, this is not... Oh, let me just go to full screen here. Ta-da. There we go. This is Learn Physics, high school physics, basically. Classic mechanics. There's a Udemy class. You can actually brush up on your physics stuff. Retake it, whatever. Say you're going back to college and you took physics, but you don't remember any of it. Well, here's a Udemy class that runs the whole physics thing, and it's run by Sogra Tefa Bagari, and she has a great site, a great community called Learning Physics Online. And let's see, Michael's on every single one of these pages. One second, let me get this out of here. Here we go. Okay. And so she's got this little feature called What Physics Can Tell Us, has been lately showing some different really cool things about the physics world. And of course, this music's perfect for this. I feel it sounds so sophisticated. I should be speaking with a more dignified accent, I feel. Don't you feel like I should be maybe acquiring some kind of, incredible sophisticated sound, like a Brahmin accent or something? I don't know. It sounds like that to me. However, nonetheless. So yes, learn how discovery can change humanity's fate. The God particle, the Hadron Collider. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. This thing is the most incredible looking deal. I mean, let me go to the big picture. This is kind of cool because it's all these articles on what physics can tell us. So anyway, if you have a sciencey kind of a mind, we haven't had a sciencey item of the month, so now you have two things. You can actually brush up on your physics classes to go continue at college, perhaps, and a lot of great articles at this site, which is the Learning Physics Online community. Okay, and so that's something else. Also, I was going to talk about the collections. I already did discuss the collections and making the cover for it, and now it doesn't happen with this one, but let's look at a featured collection. Here's a featured collection. Oh yes, animals collections. And so, you notice how there's a little thingy right here, a little doodad, a little arrow. Okay, anyway, this is my zoom it. See the little arrow right there? Look at that arrow. Here we go with a can. Okay, so I have to click the arrow, and now I see the whole picture. So you see how they're doing that to us? And click it again, and it shrinks. So that's why you have to kind of think that through when you're doing your picture for the collections, because it's going to do that crop. And so certain pictures are going to work great. Big owly eyes are going to work great, aren't they? And that's why I always say, when I hear the can dance, I can't even stop myself. I gotta stop and dance. Wait a minute, I'm getting up and dancing. No, I'm not. I'm not dancing. I look really ridiculous doing this dance in shorts. If I were wearing a tutu, that would be even worse. Okay, so, all right. So, wow, yes. So collections, yes. All kinds of things, all kinds of uses. Everybody's writing articles about it. All I can say is I just wanted to encourage everybody to look into it. The other thing I want to show is how Google Photos has these really cool little editing tools now that you've never really realized will happen on the Google side. That's why this music is just inspiring me. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll edit this thing. We're going to hit that little thing here and bring up the picture. And look, you can change the light now. This is new editing tools, okay? And you can enhance the color, add the amount of color, so it's garish, or you can make it black and white. What I like the most is the pop thing, which adds sharpening and contrast at the same time to the image and helps regain some lost shadow content, or highlight content. And that's the way you have it. So, I don't know how I ever got through that. But yes, with only 5 minutes left of the show, you can make vignettes now with the thing, which means you can add that shading and shadowing around stuff to kind of put more of a focus and highlight the content itself. And like I say, the pop adds sharpening as well as contrast. So if you push too much and it's a photo that's been compressed a lot, you will see JPEG artifacts around the edges be amplified. But if it's a high quality photo with tons and tons of pixels, then it won't matter as much, and you can go wild on pop. Okay. They also have this little section over in here where you can pick different kind of themes named for planets, like Mars, Phobos, and planets and moons, Deimos. You notice I'm looking over there. See, I'm supposed to be looking over here. Yes. 1 second. Let me flip the camera. But you see I'm looking over there. There we go. All right, see, now I'm looking in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, Juno, Saturn, Mimos, Rhea. I think Rhea looks kind of cool for this. But you see that they do their own deal with the contrast and all. So you may have to go, after you've applied one of these, you may have to go back and pull back on stuff that you might have done. Like if you want to make it really super dramatic. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're talking drama. High drama. Okay, and it's also got good crop tools. And the crop tools are unique. You have an auto crop thing. Now notice, the minute I click on it, the magic rule of thirds things appears. Now it doesn't constrain itself, but it does do a rule of thirds thing so that you can try out different deals, try out different crops. You can pull it bigger if you went too small. You can pull it bigger. You can pull in from the sides, and you can do all kinds of stuff. Okay, so like I say, I want to get like something like that. Okay, but here's where it really blew my mind. If you pull on the center, it twirls it. It twists the darn thing. Look at that action. So you can make some pretty crazy turned camera type of shots right in this tool, and so that's as crazy as it gets. And of course, you got the rotate picture deal in case the picture was sideways or upside down to begin with. But then you just, you got all this, and you just click Bing, and now that takes it. And so now you can compare before and after, okay? And you can hit save, and they do have a revert to original thing. I would save a copy if I were doing anything radical, because now I have a second copy of things, and I can always go back to my original and fool around with it. All right? And so anyway, that's a really cool tool. Don't you agree? Yes, you do. I knew you did. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you. That very, very quickly. That this is awesome. All right, so let me see if I can do an outro. I got 2 more minutes to the show. I'll do an outro on the keyboards. I'll see if I can get them to behave, and I'm just going to turn off the mics and go for it. But let me quickly take a look and make sure nobody's saying we can't hear a thing you're saying or anything like that, because that's happened, yes, many times. And all right, it's happened enough times that I'm a nervous wreck now for life. Okay, so what's he saying? What's he saying? Yeah, that's Google Photos. That's Google Photos. Believe it or not, Google Photos. And of course, they're doing those things where they create stories for you and all that. But you have to take enough pictures, like in a short period of time, a whole bunch of pictures in the same time span for them to make a story out of it. And so you have to turn on your auto shoot thing where it shoots 5 frames at once, and just go wild all over the place, hitting frame, bup, 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 ha, ha, bup, 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 ha, 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 bup, 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 and keep doing that, and they'll make a story out of it. It practically looks like a movie. Okay, so, yes, indeed. What? I gotta go back in here. Anyway. Ta-da! Okay, so, okay. Here we go. Let me get to the musical outro. And thanks a lot, Andrew. Yes, outstanding show. Yes. Did you meet the farmer who was outstanding in his field? Yes, he was. Well, I did too. Okay, let me just turn off this mic, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into the outro musical interlude thing. Oh, I won't turn off the mic. I'll turn on both mics and go nuts with reverb and do the whole 9 yards. There we go. Okay. Boy, oh boy. All right, let's see. Okay, I have a lot of weird patches in here. Let's see if I can find a really good one. A good weird one. Oh, we don't want to be looking at this. We want to be looking at the keys. There we go.
Okay, and that's tonight's show. I hope I did put you to sleep in a nice, comfy way for a Sunday night. Oh, it's kind of early for some of you guys, isn't it? Sorry about that, Hawaii. Didn't mean to put you to sleep this early. But anyway, thanks a lot for showing up, everybody. And yes, indeed, I had to do an adventuresome little thing. Hey, I just go wherever where the patches tell me to go. And some of these sounds, you just can't do something rock and roll with them. I could have gone rock and roll with one of them, but I didn't. Anyway, so that's tonight's show, and thanks a lot for showing up and being such a great audience and so supportive. This is 12 shows now we've gotten into, and yeah. So what can I say? It's been a blast doing all 12, and we have the Lucky Show coming up next week. I already got the spilling the blue juice all over everything part out of the way, so that's probably not going to even be an issue next week. I mean, maybe what I'll do is I'll bring in extra blue juice and some water, some confetti, and I don't know, whatever I can spill all over the place. But anyhow, it was a blast. Let you all go now. Thanks a lot for coming, and I'm glad you had a good time. And yeah, spread it around. Get more people showing up, and I can be encouraged to do silly things like even dance the can, but not wearing a tutu. Okay. All right. Enough people show up. Maybe I'll wear the tutu. Enough people. I won't put a number on it, so just keep on getting those people coming in. All right. What can I say? All right. Guess what? I can't even end the show. Because I don't even have look at this. I don't even have a Google thing. I got to go to YouTube. And go to my, because I was running the stream from that Mac Plus that's no longer turning on. At least they're really kind over there at in the world of Apple, and they make it so the stuff automatically turns off. So what can I say? Oh, no, I don't want that. Get out of here. Live events. Okay, so now I'm coming where I can go to the control room and I can actually turn this thing off. All right. Well, it was great. Thanks a million, everyone. And I'll have the things. I've been time stamping the YouTube copies of all of these shows. So although you don't have the comment stream available, you usually have those time-stamped things. Oh, and an announcement. I have decided I am doing a Udemy class, and I'm doing it on Pixlr, because I watched a whole ton of YouTube videos on Pixlr today, and I'm sorry.
I hate to brag, but I can do better videos upside down, wearing a tourniquet. And it's just, it really got to me. And so that was it. I committed to doing Pixlr tutorial for my first Udemy class. So be looking for that. And I'm going to keep it really, really cheap. And because it's for a free program, I feel guilty even charging anything for a free program. But I'm going to definitely show all kinds of everything. It's going to be the whole full bucket of everything you can do with Pixlr Editor. So anyway, that's an announcement. There you have it. So I'm going to get to work on that this week. I'm really inspired after seeing. It took watching that many bad ones to get me off of my butt. All right. We'll see you. Take care, everyone, and have a good night. Bye-bye.